that your love for me is real. Sage Advice with Melissa is a new informative health and lifestyle show for you to gain knowledge and inspiration to help guide your journey to think, work, and live more powerfully. Whether you're trying to improve your life from a mental, physical, or spiritual journey, Sage Advice with Melissa Coleman, CEO of Sage Skincare, delivers weekly advice from the best experts to provide you with insightful suggestions to allow you to thrive with a better quality of life. It's her mission to guide you through the uncharted waters of health and wellness and to give you a voice on what can help improve your life and your mental, physical, and spiritual journey. Okay, audience, here's Melissa.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Sage Advice with Melissa. This is your host, Melissa Coleman. We are here today in our month of cleansing and spring cleaning and all those fabulous things that we do once March hits. So we are going to be talking about herbal cleansing today with the beautiful Charlotte Jones, our resident plant lady. She is back with us. This is the first time this year, I think.
It is.
Yes.
Happy New Year's, belated.
And happy spring. So we are going to tell you, audience, a little bit about Charlotte. I know her as Charlie. She goes by Charlotte, though.
I go by all
things. She is a Missouri native that has been running her farm, Charlie Sprouts LLC in St. Louis, since 2015, where she specializes in microgreens, wheatgrass, and medicinal plants. Early childhood education, nutrition, herbalism, and personal training are among the few degrees and licenses that she has earned. She is first and foremost a forever student who loves to share everything she learns and has a true passion to act as a bridge between humans and plants. And she has recently added adjunct professor to her resume at St. Louis University in their medicinal, what did we say it was?
Medicinal plants division.
There you go. She's teaching you everything you need to know about the medicinal plants out there.
Yep.
Charlie feels there is no difference between plants. Just like humans, we are all the same. We have simply grown up around different plants. Saying one is better over the other is as helpful as deciding which cloud in the sky is the best one. We all have the same goals in life, and plants simply wish to aid us in our journey of success. Welcome back to the show, Charlie.
Thank you. It's good to be back.
I know, it's been so long. I think it was fall the last time you were with us?
Sounds about right. I think it was diabetes was the last one we did.
Yes, that was in November because
you were teaching me that time.
I know, it was fun. It was a lot of fun. We had a great time. So this is our month of spring cleaning. We've kind of built all the shows around cleaning something, whether it's our environments, our bodies, our minds, however that may be. We're going to be talking a little bit about both today, cleaning our environments in a more natural way, and then some of the herbal remedies that are good for cleansing and clearing our bodies.
Yes.
So this is going to be exciting. So Charlotte, what are some springtime plants that are popping up all around us that have medicinal benefits that can help our bodies prep for the springtime?
Some really common ones that most of you are going to recognize are plants that you think of as weeds. So dandelions, chickweed, wild violet, red clover, cattail shoots. So kind of like the sprout version of cattails, except for with cattails, instead of the normal like 2 to 3 inches is what a sprout would be. These guys, they're considering them shoots until they're about half a foot, so about 6 inches to 10 inches. They actually taste like cucumber in
Really?
flavor, and they're jam packed with nutrients.
Okay.
And let's see what else. Stinging nettle. It is a superfood. It can go in salads. You can actually make chips out of it. You can make this really awesome, like blueberry stinging nettle lemonade.
Mm.
But it's amazing for cold and flu season because with the seasons changing, the people with allergies, I don't know if you have them, but I definitely suffer from allergy issues this time of year.
Mhm.
That stuff is really good to add to your daily intake. Dead nettle, which is they're the little purple flowers. It looks like a shoot, and then they've got like multiple little purple flowers that look like tiny little tulips almost popping out.
Okay.
But it's a square stem. They are also very similar in medicinal value to they're good for the coughs, the colds. It also helps clear out your system. You can make some really, and they're really, really flavorful. So you can make some awesome salads or pesto out of it. Willow tree, which I think we've talked about here a few times.
Mhm.
The bark of the willow tree is the same chemical compound as aspirin. So if you make a tea out of it, or if you mash it and add some water and mash it and then put some gauze over it, you can actually put that as a cold compress over bug bites, cuts, burns. It'll help heal, and it's
cool.
anti-inflammatory, so it'll keep that swelling down. And then plantain, which is another superfood. It can be put into salads, soups, stews. In native cultures, they'll actually put it in their mouth and chew the leaves, and then they'll spit them out and they'll put them on a cut, a burn, a bug bite, anything like that. Similar to the willow bark, it'll help heal that wound faster.
Very cool. So are the plantains that you're talking about, are those like the things that look like bananas?
Nope.
No.
So
Okay.
this is,
'Cause
yeah.
I'm thinking plantains.
So plantain, it's one of those plants where when you see a picture of it, you're like, oh, that thing, I've got that in my backyard. It almost looks like a cross between a regular yard plant and almost like a cactusy type thing. It's succulent in nature, to where it's like juicy, almost like teeny tiny aloe leaves,
Mhm.
but on more of like a vine type of plant. It spreads out. It looks like a weed, but look it up, and I guarantee you, probably in your yard or your neighbor's yard, somebody's got it growing in there. So if you've got kids, like something that I do whenever I work with the Girl and Boy Scout troops, I actually have a little booklet where it's laminated photos of each, and then we do like little scavenger hunts. And then
oh my God, that's
so
awesome.
I teach them how to clean the plants, so then they can, and then we learn how to either dry them out like via the sun on little trays, or if we have a dehydrator for that particular thing. But it's really fun. The kids love it, and it kind of gets them into recognizing plants, because once they start recognizing some, they're going to want to know what all of them are. So parents, be prepared to learn what everything is in your yard. But it's a fun little game there. So dandelions are the one that I was going to kind of focus on a little bit today, because it's kind of like the flashy one over the last few years. I love that it's like still maintaining its top like weed status now.
Right. Even though it's the biggest nuisance in the yard.
Now I know people that actually grow like just patches of their yard that's solid dandelions just so they can
They're so pretty
use them
though
every
when
year.
they come up.
Yeah.
They
Well,
really are.
one of my friends, they're a mushroom farmer, like super southern south mushroom farmer, but his wife grows like these patches of dandelions. So whenever they go to the farmers markets, he will sell his mushrooms, and then she makes those flatbreads with like the flowers and like the peppers and the different things that like make pictures, so it looks like a little canvas with whatever she makes on it.
Oh, wow.
She uses the dandelions a lot for those. Those will be like her borders. It's pretty
That's
cool.
really, really cool. And
Um,
and let me ask you, the plants that you've mentioned so far, are those all kind of native all over? Or
so these are going to be native to Midwest areas, but they are pretty common throughout the states. There's not really, I mean, you might have patches of areas where they might not have as many cattails, or, but a lot of these are pretty common weeds.
yeah,
Um,
awesome.
but okay, let's see. Oh, the dandelion. Well, dandelion and the rest of these, the one reason why I mentioned these plants is because one, it's springtime and that's what's growing. But in the plant world, it's kind of fun because plants kind of match what people need as well as they grow throughout the season. So if you look into the backgrounds of all of these plants, you're going to notice something's very similar. They're prepping you for a change in season, and they're loading you up with vitamins and nutrients, to keep you, like give you the energy and work forward for the season. So it's kind of like nature is naturally giving you a little boost for your springtime.
Yes, because that's when the sun comes out
Mhm.
more. It's longer days. It just is so many wonderful things happening. So as we kind of share in this first half more about our houses and cleansing and all of those things, I was kind of just researching, plants that are really good for our environment from a
Yes.
breathing standpoint and clearing, purifying the air and everything. So some of the top ones that came up are English ivy, Barberton daisy. Have no idea what that is, but hopefully you can educate us a little bit. Is it pothos?
Pathos.
Pathos. Snake plant, which I've always known as the mother-in-law's tongue. Those are similar, correct?
Yep.
All right. Lady balm,
Mhm.
bamboo,
Mhm.
tulsi, and the peace lily. I did not know the peace lily did so much as far as purification and
Mhm.
all of that. However, I was reading it is highly dangerous to consume for both animals and people.
It is. Unless you have like a very over rambunctious pet, you probably won't have the problem, just because naturally, chemical wise, animals can kind of tell what can and cannot be eaten most
Mhm.
of the time. But
So they are that smart, the
um,
animals.
I mean,
they-
that's why I'm saying most of the time. Like,
Okay.
I mean, if it was my sweet Apollo, I can't guarantee he wouldn't eat that thing because, that's just, he is special boy. Um,
Yes, he's sweet. He's special. He's bigger than Charlie and I.
Yeah. But I wouldn't be putting it on the floor somewhere that's readily available either.
Yes.
And then kids for sure, because I don't know about you, but we've had toddlers in the family that definitely destroy the plants. That's why in our household when we were growing up, like we would get in more trouble damaging the plants than we would for smacking each other. That was just the rules. Like there was no second chance. It's you hurt the plant, go in your room. That's how we grew up.
So this is the entire family that loves the plants
We
in
are
your world.
we are plant people.
I love that. We need our plants though. And I think, just as we see things evolve and the cutting down of so many trees and
Mhm.
how important they are in our environments. And, you see all these new houses going up and there's like no plants,
Mhm.
and we need them.
Well, and we have to be careful with, considering so many of these things as weeds, because if you do keep chopping them down, if you do keep putting things to get rid of them, like eventually that source is going to be very low, and a lot of these plants are sources that the bees need. So it's kind of helping each other out.
Yes, that would be a whole nother show, Charlie.
Yes.
A whole nother show. So, being that everyone loves to clean and clear their spaces,
Mhm.
when spring comes, what is some benefits for utilizing our plants to help clean and purify our spaces? Like, give us a good example of a plant that we could utilize to create clean. As I knock the water over again.
Well, the plants that you were mentioning are all great for purifying the air. It's been proven time and time again, just having greenery around improves your quality of life. It improves your mood. So I highly recommend everybody should just have an indoor jungle, because one is not enough.
And are there
It needs friends.
Right. And are there plants that are good for people that maybe don't have a naturally green thumb, that are sturdy, that can
Mhm.
withstand maybe not the most ideal environments of being taken care of?
There is a plant for every person. Like some plants, they actually hate people and they don't want you to go anywhere near it, but they're happy as long as, like, you can coexist together. Just don't touch them, or else they're going to be like, you touched me. And they will. They like, I don't know if you've ever like seen, there's ferns where if you come and you like actually physically touch the fern leaf, like it'll curl up and just be like so grossed out that you like touched it.
I don't know if I've ever even really touched a fern.
It's
that
pretty
way.
cool. Not all of them do it, but there are some, and it will curl the whole thing up and just be like, don't touch me.
Wow.
And I know several people that like totally vibe with that.
There's people like that.
Yeah.
Don't touch me.
I would say if you're going to buy a plant, like know yourself. Don't feel bad for being like, I'll probably remember maybe once a month to water you. Know that about yourself and find a plant that'll be the same.
What are some of those plants that
So
don't need a lot of care?
like cactus are great. Monsteras are great. What else? I'm a really big fan of philodendrons, because they're beautiful. Some of them look like Jurassic type things.
They grow well too.
Yeah, they grow well. It's very difficult to kill them once you've got a steady base going.
Those are the ones with the snaky
Mhm.
long. Yep.
Yep.
Yes.
What else is really easy? Herbs are super easy. If you know you're not going to water them, just put them in a planter box outside. Like nature takes care of herbs once you get those seeds down. But if you are going to do that, I would be mindful that until they are about 1 inch to 2 inches tall, put like gauze or something over the top of it. That way it can still get light, but birds go nuts for seeds, and they will like literally dig all your seeds out of your pots.
Oh, wow.
I had them do that. I had a really bad bird problem at the first house I was at, or first house I ever owned. And I could not figure out, I'm like, I am like failing everybody that I know, like, because I cannot grow anything here. And I just could not figure it out. And finally, we got one of those like deer trail things on there. And I would see like these birds would just mass attack everywhere that I planted seeds. I'm like, oh, okay, no wonder. But then, like a mile down the property line, we'd have a ton of the stuff that I planted, like over there, because the birds would,
Drop them.
recreate a garden where they wanted to.
My God, that's hilarious. And can you just grow plants? I mean, just stating that the birds dropping whatever they drop. Like my sister said, my brother-in-law would eat a tomato, throw the seeds out into the yard, and they had these massive tomato bushes.
You can. That's a really fun project to do. Is like basically make like a stew or something, and if you have like celery, keep the butt of the celery, or if you've got using potatoes or something, like cut one side, or if you're going through your potato bag and you notice like one is starting to grow,
The
instead of
little white
throwing it,
things.
yeah, instead of throwing that away, or like ripping those little white things off, and then you know uh I came from a poor household, so what we would do if I was like really wanting a potato, we'd rip that thing off and then let it sit in the sink in some water for a while, because it would kind of rehydrate and plump back up, and then use that. But another way to do that would be just chop it in half and plant it.
Hmm.
There's a whole lot of different, like tomatoes. You're cutting the tip off of the tomato anyways, because you're not eating that with the stem. Stick that in dirt. Garlic cloves, stick those in dirt, they'll grow. Like all you have to do is like you don't even have to go through pulling them all apart and doing the whole thing. Just chop a solid end off of one side, to where like
So like that bottom hard part.
yeah, so
Okay.
like where you can see where you've got enough to where all the tips are exposed, and then you stick that in the dirt, and those will all grow.
Oh,
Like food is so easy. Like there's buying seeds is cool because you know exactly what you're getting, but I mean there's no reason for you to not, like if you're eating a strawberry, like you're not going to eat the stem, but if you keep that stem and put it in some dirt, you're going to eventually get some strawberries in there. Like it's
That's
so
amazing.
easy.
Yeah, that's really, really amazing. So, is there any particular plants out there that we can make, as you refer to, tinctures or a spray or something that would be beneficial in cleaning the house during this
Yes.
time?
So if you are an herb grower, some of my favorites is lemon balm, or lavender, or rosemary, or holy. I want to say holy, not holy basil, regular basil. Um, Anything that like has a really nice smell for you. All of those I'm saying because they also have antibacterial properties to them as well. So like mint would be one of them, to where you're actually are giving a little bit of if you used it as a wipe down, it would be like a natural cleanser.
Mhm.
But basically all you're doing is just infusing water. So you can either put it in jars with water and let it infuse in the sun over a month, or you can cook it over the stove on a low heat for about 15 to 20 minutes, and then strain it and then put it in a sprayer.
Mhm.
So you're going to get the majority of the medicinal qualities out of the plants, and you're also going to have a really nice smell good spray.
Mhm.
That's one of the things where with dogs, like if it's the rainy season, because it's April and it's like, well, I could pay, to get you completely beautiful and washed, and then 2 days later have to do the same thing, or
Right.
just know that it's going to be raining for the week. So then it's like a nice spritzer that's healthy for the dog. So it's not going to dry out its skin or cause any kind of like itchiness or anything like that. And my house doesn't smell like wet dog. So
Yeah.
it's a bonus. Or if
That's-
your carpets need a little refresh, because you're putting the plants in the water, like there's not really anything that's going to be staining anything. So it's a real cost effective versus paying like the $6 or whatever it is for the Febreze.
Mhm.
Um,
And let me ask you, just because I'm thinking from the skincare standpoint of things. Is there anything that you need in there to stabilize that, to maintain shelf life, like any lemon juice or alcohol, even just to have that extra layer of cleansing? Is that a requirement when you're making these kinds
I
of
mean,
tinctures?
with this, normally, like if you're just using something that's out of your own garden, generally it's not huge batches.
Mhm.
So these that I'm talking about today are basically infused waters, which means they do have a decent shelf life. Like as long as you've strained everything out of it and you put it into a jar, I mean, you can keep it up to a year.
Uh-huh.
Um,
Can you put it in a spray bottle?
you can, yeah.
Is it
But
good to keep it in the refrigerator? Not trying to be funny, but does that help?
I mean, you don't have, you can, it needs to be in a cool, dry place. So a lot of the times with dry herbs, I would say stay away from the refrigerator because it can cause moisture. But with this particular thing, you could put it in the refrigerator, but it's not necessary.
Okay.
The only thing you really want to be sure of is that you do have everything strained out because the physical matter of the plants will grow mold eventually
Okay.
if you don't get it all strained out of there. So yeah, for this particular one,
That's pretty simple to
it's
do.
yeah.
Can we repeat the steps one more time? And
S-
and how much? Like how much water would somebody want to use to like make a batch?
Well, if you were to, let's see,
Let's go with
what
a
is a
pint.
a pint?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, like normally cleansing products come in like 12-ounce, 32-ounce bottles, somewhere in that range.
Okay. Well, if you're doing like a 32-ounce bottle, then I would say a good half a cup of plants for that. Because if you are going to be, if you're going to be storing it for a little while, I would say go plant heavy. Technically, you could probably do like a quarter cup of plants for that, but
Mhm.
if you're going to do it, you might as well just get a really good, nice, solid product out of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty much it. Just whenever you're cooking it on the stove, you do want to be mindful. You're going to cook it on the very lowest setting, and you're going to stir it. Make sure you keep stirring it. So, and you're also going to make sure that you're masticating these plants. So like you're smashing them pretty well. And then putting them in the water so that way you're bursting all the cells in there, so it's really so you can get more of the oils out of there. But yeah, that's about it for that one. It's
Well, that's pretty simple. And then you put it in the jar, let it sit for a month, you said?
It's good for up to a year. I mean,
Okay.
you can use it right away as soon as you make
So
it.
there's no like time frame.
Nope.
So believe it or not, we are about to head to break.
Oh,
but let's
cool.
share with everybody how they can reach you to see what you're up to and get a hold of you.
You can get a hold of me at charliesprouts.com. Yeah.
That's the best place.
Yeah, we also have a Facebook page. Within the week, we'll be getting up a page for the Plants for the People, but that's not set up just yet.
All right. Well, we're going to head to break now. We'll be back in just a few minutes talking about herbal cleansing and what kind of fun teas you can make.
Yes.
Stay tuned.
If you're looking for a new informative health and lifestyle show to gain knowledge and inspiration to help guide your journey to think, work, and live more powerfully, then you need to listen to Sage Advice with Melissa. Now, whether you're trying to improve your life from a mental, physical, or spiritual journey, Sage Advice with Melissa Coleman, CEO of Sage Skincare, delivers weekly advice from industry experts to provide you with insightful suggestions to allow you to thrive with a better quality of life. Melissa's mission? to guide you through the uncharted waters of health and wellness and to give you a voice to help improve your life. So be sure to tune in to Melissa on KWRH 92.9 FM every Thursday at 10 a.m. You'll be glad you did.
Hey, listeners, saying thanks to your customers is nice and polite, but expressing your gratitude in memorable and ongoing ways can boost your business. At Promo Experts LLC, we exceed our customers' expectations. For over 20 years, our product knowledge and experience has helped them with their marketing initiatives and trade show graphics. We are happy to put that experience to work for you. Quality products, great customer service, and prices are our number one priority. We work with you to find unique, creative, and new ideas that fit your image and expectations, helping you build strong relationships with your customers. When you select Promo Experts as your marketing partner, we help you to see more than the big picture. For more information about this exciting opportunity, contact Diane Carson, President, at 636-458-5241. That's 636-458-5241. Let Promo Experts help you to move your business brand beyond the bland.
Do you want to become a radio show host, or do you want to create a radio show? Well, Dr. Stan Fine can help you to have your own radio show and put you on 100 cities daily across the U.S. And you can immediately start recording from a live radio studio. As a radio industry veteran, Dr. Stan Fine has 12 years of experience and has produced and hosted over 1,000 radio shows with over 10 million listeners. Dr. Stan Fine knows how to make this happen for you. He's a pro, and he can turn your dreams into a reality. Dr. Stan Fine will help you with everything from learning how to promote your show, develop a host persona, interview techniques, market your show on social media, teach you how to get guests and sponsors, and more. Dr. Stan Fine can put you on the air nationwide daily to 100 cities. If you're interested in making your dream come true, if you want to see how it all works, then give Dr. Stan Fine a call at 314-710-8413. That's 314-710-8413. You've got nothing to lose, and Dr. Stan Fine can help make your nationwide radio dreams come true.
Is your business struggling with getting found online? Are you having a hard time finding a marketing company that you can trust? Look no further than Vivial. At Vivial, we are experts at helping connect buyers to consumers by our innovative marketing strategies with proven methods that help businesses connect to their target demographic. For a free consultation, call Anthony today at 314-437-1906. That's 314-437-1906.
Have you always wanted to write your own book but don't know where to start? Publishing Concepts, a publishing company located right here in St. Louis, offers everything from consulting, book printing, copyrights, ISBNs and barcodes, print book layout, ebook and iBook layout, graphic design, cover design, ghostwriting, typing and editing, distribution, marketing, and more for an affordable price. Visit publishingconceptsllc.com or just Google Publishing Concepts to get started today, or call 314-781-8880. That's 314-781-8880. Publishing Concepts. We help you sell more books.
Many small businesses do not have a marketing manager. In many cases, it is the company owner that drives marketing and sales efforts with the gut instinct to survive. Even when small businesses do have a marketing manager, though, many of them are trying to navigate through the complex sales and marketing landscape with little to no success or budget.
How to Promote Your Business with Limited Money is a general purpose how-to business book written for business owners and marketing professionals by business owners Dr. Stan Fine and Joseph W. Clote. This guide is not intended to be read as a front-to-back chapter book and rather serves as a quick reference guide. Refer to this book as you need specific information and skip around as needed.
Promoting your business with limited money is one challenging feat, but there are unlimited ideas you can apply to achieve objectives you pre-establish. So put on your marketing hat and let's take action to start showing your prospects the value your business delivers.
A little you need to know about Dr. Stan Fine. During his 60-year career, Dr. Fine has become an authority on sales and marketing business development issues. His presentations have made him much in demand as a speaker and seminar leader. He has taught business development topics at numerous universities across the United States and has conducted over 500 sales and management seminars. Some of Dr. Fine's credentials in corporate America are currently Dr. Fine serves as a co-host of the To Your Business radio show on KRH 92.9 FM in St. Louis and a co-host of Nationwide Daily Radio Show on my genre radio network on the Zeno Media platform. In 100 cities, he is also on a daily TV show on the Valuable TV and the Real TV networks. Go and get a copy of How to Promote Your Business with Limited Money today.
To purchase your copy of How to Promote Your Business with Limited Money, go to It's Your Business website at www.itsyourbusinessradio.com.
Hello again, everyone. Welcome to part 2 of Sage Advice with Melissa. I am your host, Melissa Coleman. We are here today talking about herbal cleansing with the beautiful Charlotte Jones, our resident plant lady. Hello again, Charlotte.
Hello.
Yes. And I did not announce when we came on the air initially where you're listening to us, but you are catching us here on KWRH 92.9 FM and KXOK 102.9 FM every Saturday at noon. And then you have plenty of opportunity to catch us on the national side Monday through Friday. We're there 7 to 8 a.m. and then again noon and 1 to 1 p.m. on My Genre Radio Network. We're also now on SoundCloud via KWRH. So all you have to do is go to SoundCloud, find them, find our show, and you can listen to us all day, every day if you want to. So Charlotte, as we left in the first half, we were talking about home sprays and all of that, but what are the benefits of really creating your own house sprays versus the chemical ones, other than the fact they are chemical? But, you know, there are other things that I can think of off the top of my head.
Yeah. So, I mean, creating your own is obviously going to be saving your household from unnecessary things. If you've got little ones crawling around, putting your hands everywhere, those hands are inevitably going to go in their mouths. And, you know, so you want to be mindful. If you are wanting more of, I forgot to say in the first half, if you are wanting something that is a smell good and a disinfectant, what you can do is add some food grade hydrogen peroxide, 32%. You would just add a little capful to the plant infused water. And then now you've got a disinfectant that's a natural disinfectant.
That's really good. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. But be mindful that you're just using that on surfaces. If you're planning on refreshing furniture or cloth items, then you're not going to, you could probably do a couple of drops in there, but I personally would just be safe in the matter because hydrogen peroxide can bleach furniture.
Yes.
So that is, you know, something to be, if you are going to add that in there, that is strictly for hard surfaces for cleaning.
Yes. It's very good for stains. So it's not a bad thing to necessarily use. But
Yeah.
yes.
It's actually something that's incredibly good for you to take a couple drops of every day for yourself. I actually take a shot of, it's raspberry, strawberry infused water, and then it also has the 32% hydrogen peroxide in there, and I think it's got a little lemon in there. It actually tastes delicious.
Okay.
But it's incredibly good for your system. It cleans out all the nasty crap in there.
I would think it would be really good to swish even in your mouth, because I have a girlfriend that's been a dental hygienist forever, and she brushes just with baking soda and hydrogen peroxide.
Yep, I do the same.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's cost effective and you're doing better for yourself because you're not adding all that fluoride into your system. Because, I mean, you have a decent enough selection of non-fluoride things now, but if you don't even know to not look for that, it's just a better, simpler way to do it.
Exactly. And I think what I love so much about what we're talking about today is that sustainability. It is saving you money long term. It's a better, healthier product, making your own, and it's letting us be more independent of having to get everything from the grocery store
Exactly.
or the store or wherever you like to shop. So in this second half, we're going to really talk about purifying our bodies and the plants that are really good for that. We've mentioned a list of them earlier in the show, but we're going to talk more in depth about what plants do what for us and how we can also clean out our systems in a healthy way. So when we were preparing for the show, you asked me about what I thought about spring, and dandelions, as you so eloquently talked about, was like the first thing that came to mind, because like that is like the blooming and beginning of everything. And, I feel like there's some of the first ones that come up, and, although, like I said, a nuisance in our yards, would you share some of the benefits of dandelions for our bodies and what it helps with?
Absolutely. So dandelions are a appetite stimulant. So if you have, I have a few clients that are elderly that are having issues with appetite. So dandelions would be a really good something to suggest for those type of people. It helps with your digestion. It's an antioxidant. It helps support your immune system. It's also a diuretic, so it's going to help clear out and, keep the flow going well in your kidneys. It helps regulate blood pressure, helps with gallbladder function, helps regulate blood sugar. It is a mild laxative if made in a condensed manner. So you don't have to worry about, like, if you're just drinking a dandelion tea and, worried about the after effects, don't worry. But if you were making something that was extremely condensed or taking a tincture of it, I would not take more than what is recommended, or else you might need to visit your lavatory.
A little more than normal.
Which is good. You're just getting it all out. Just get it all out. But yeah. And it's great for your liver.
Is it? I knew for sure the kidneys. And then because I always I don't take it anymore, but I was for a while taking milk thistle, which I knew was really good for the liver.
Yep.
Yes. No, but I do the dandelion root and leaf tea.
And it's like it's one
really
of those
good.
that's just delicious as well. Some of the herbals can be a little funky on flavor.
Can you help those along with some honey?
I mean, you can, but as an hermetic herbalist, like, I make everything extremely condensed, so I can't guarantee you what I'm going to give you is going to taste delicious. I just can guarantee that it's going to be effective for what I'm giving it to you for.
It's so funny you say that, because somebody we know in common, Miss Maddie, which my audience is very familiar with, she was drinking something, and like, I go by smells, because if I can't tolerate the smell, I know I'm not going to like it. And she goes, it doesn't matter. It is good for our bodies.
Yeah,
I'm gonna let you enjoy.
I agree with that, except for here's the thing. I'm not going to torture myself and give myself a 12 to 24 ounce drink of something where, when I have condensed items, it may taste terrible, but I can put all those condensed items into one shot, add a little bit of lemon, and, just shoot it back in some water. As a little herbal water shot, or put it in some juice or something that doesn't taste terrible, and it's like done right away.
So your condensed shots that you create, is that something that you could put in a smoothie, or is it better to take it as it's made versus mixing in that fashion?
You can definitely put it in a smoothie, but there are particular, like most of them, if you add it to a bigger shake, it will, and
Kind of
the
lose its potency.
well, no, it doesn't lose potency. It doesn't taste as bad, but I'm just saying, like, if the whole shake tastes gross, like, don't do that to yourself. Just take it in a shot. Like, ew.
Too funny.
I spent many of nights like just sitting at the kitchen table staring at meals I would not eat because I was that kid. So my parents would be like, "You're not
I was
leaving the
too.
table until you eat it." Like, no, there's another way.
So much better about the vegetables now as an adult.
I created a business about Sprouts, which is condensed nutrition, because I did not want to eat all my vegetables.
Right. And if you like Sprouts, you definitely need to reach out to Charlie, because her Sprouts are amazing, like on everything.
Yeah, and we just had our 9th year anniversary.
Yay.
So our little 9th birthday. I'm
Yeah.
so proud.
No, they are delicious. Like, they're amazing, which I need to get some more, by the way. Just throwing that out there. So when we were preparing for the show, we were talking about bitters, and you were going to share with us about those little things and how they make them. Because when I was putting the question together, and it's like how and why you make them, I was like, I told you. You go to the store, you buy it in a bottle, and we're good to go. But, it wasn't in my mind that, these had to have come from someplace initially. So let's share about the bitters, the benefits of them, why we would want to make them, take them, all that good stuff.
So bitters are one of my all-time favorite things, because they are ways you can use them as daily vitamins. You can use them to make really fun, creative cocktails or mocktails. And they're just incredibly good for you. Depending on the plants that you're putting in there, most of them are really great for your GI system, IBS, upset bellies. They're something that have been used for years to, grandma would put a couple douses of or dollops. I don't remember what the old school is. Dollops of I feel like a dollop would be dollop for days. Okay, EDD. Put a couple drops of that in a cup for you. But basically what bitters are is it is an herbal infused alcohol mixed with an herbal infused water, and then with sugar added to it to help preserve and meld the two together. You shake it up, and then basically that's what the bitters is. So I'm going to give you a simple recipe here.
Can I ask questions?
Sure.
Because I have questions. So bitters, what do they come from? Like, is the plant it comes from a bitter plant, or is it some other type of plant that we get the bitters from?
Nope. Bitters is just the name for the process of making this. You can use any kind of plant that you want. If you enjoy
bitters,
most of the plants that you make to make bitters, you're going to be going more for flavor as well as herbal, because bitters is meant to infuse drinks. Or, I mean, again, you can take it as like a little tip in your mouth, like a tincture, but generally they're for creating drinks. So you'll see them in your local bars, like the Angostura or the blood orange, I think, are the most popular ones that they use out there. You might have some of them that you'll see them with a little pop-up pot and burner scene, and they're telling you they're making bitters. Well, that's what they're doing. So Does that answer your question?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yes. Now you can
So-
share your fabulous recipe.
Yeah,
with
so
us.
this recipe is going along with the spring theme. So I found one that is dandelion with orange peels and ginger
Ooh.
root.
Ooh.
So this is going to taste super, super earthy
Oh, I'm
and just
excited.
yummy. So the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to gather a tablespoon of dandelion root, a tablespoon of orange peel, and a tablespoon of ginger root.
This is for 1 cup.
Yep.
Okay.
What this is going to make is, I think it makes like, oh, that's a good question. What do I make? 2, 3. So this is like probably around a 16 ounce,
Oh, okay. Okay.
12 to 16 ounce. I didn't write the final thing, but yeah, 12 to 16 ounces. So your ingredients, you're gonna have a cup of grain alcohol. You're gonna have a tablespoon of dandelion root, tablespoon of orange root or orange peel, and tablespoon of ginger root, 2 cups of water, and then 1/3 cup of sugar. So the first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna infuse the alcohol. So you're going to gather all the ingredients and you're going to put it into a regular cup-sized mason jar, a pint glass, and you're going to fill that pint glass into like you're going to put the ingredients in there and then you're going to fill it with grain alcohol, preferably. With bitters, you can do as low as an 80 proof. But I would recommend just get the grain alcohol. It's a couple dollars more, but it's going to make it last a lot longer.
Like Everclear.
Yeah, and it's going to really be able to break down all of the chemicals in there where the 80% or 80 proof won't be able to break down quite everything in to extract everything properly.
With the Everclear, it comes 120 or 151, I think. Do you want the highest? If
I mean,
possible.
Ideally, the highest amount is going to do the best because the higher the alcohol content, the better it's going to be able to break down those chemicals and maintain them.
Awesome.
So it'll last longer for you guys. So once you've got that in there, you're going to put the cap on and you're going to shake it up really well and you're going to let it sit in that jar for 14 days. So you're going to keep it ideally in the sun somewhere. And then every day just go and shake it up and then set it back down and let it chill. Kind of like you're making a prolonged sun tea. So after that 14 days, you're going to get a cheesecloth and strain out the plants that you used in there. And then you're going to set that jar with the infused alcohol aside. And then you're going to put those strained herbs into a bowl and you're going to smash them up. Really try and get them pretty evenly smashed up. What that does is it's going to break out any other parts of the plant that were not reached by the alcohol, like the insides, any bits that are left of the benefits. So smash it up, put it into a pot with 1 cup of water, and you're going to bring that to a boil. Once it's at a boil, you're going to back off and you're going to let it simmer on the lowest setting for about 5 to 7 minutes. Once you've reached your 5 to 7 minute mark, you're going to pull it from the stove. Again, you're going to, when it's simmering, do it on the lowest setting possible. And when you boil it, when I say boil, I mean, as soon as it starts to evenly boil up top, pull it from that heat immediately, because if you keep it too high for too long, you're going to kill off the benefits and it's going to affect the smell as well. So once you've strained that out of there, what you're going to do is you're going to add the alcohol to the water. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take 1/3 cup of sugar and you're going to add it to the pan. just a clean saucepan, and you're going to bring that up to a heat until it caramelizes. So it'll look kind of like a brown liquid. That's probably going to take about 5 minutes. Once that happens, you're going to pour that caramelized sugar into the mixture with the other two infused, the alcohol and the water infused. You're going to shake it really well. It will solidify. So you're going to be like, oh my God, what did I do wrong? You did nothing wrong. This is cool things about science. It makes you go, what the heck? And then but it's good. So give it a couple hours, and then all of a sudden it's going to mellow out into more of a liquid. You're going to shake it really good again. And then that's going to be good for up to a year. So you can keep it in your refrigerator. You can keep it in a cool, dry place. Make sure that it is sealed. And yeah, that's bitters for you. So
Yes.
they're really fun. If you add this particular infusion is going to taste like an earthy orange peel with a little kick because it's got that ginger in it. So this is an excellent one if you drink sparkling water or if you like seltzers, anything like that. So if you had like a mango seltzer, I would add this to it because it's going to be like
Okay.
a spicy little kick to that mango seltzer.
Is this something that you can add to a tea too?
You can. Yeah, you can just put it in regular water. You can put it in a tea. Some people like this particular one. I would have no problem putting this in my coffee.
Mhm.
I know coffee's not great to drink, but
Occasionally we have to have
yeah.
some.
They're pretty versatile. You can actually use bitters in when you're making if you've got ice cream, something like that. You can pour
Ooh.
that in there. Yeah,
Very
they're
nice.
very, very versatile, but they're incredibly good for you as well. So,
And
yeah.
let me ask you, on your website, Charlie Sprouts,
Mhm.
do you have different recipes that people can find? Or are you thinking about building this out because you have amazing recipes?
Yeah, it's all going to be built out. We are going to be refreshing the website this year.
Awesome. Awesome.
Um,
In the meantime, we're going to share these two recipes that Charlie has shared with us today on our platforms. So you can find us Facebook, Instagram, at Sage Advice with Melissa. That's where we are. Charlie, believe it or not, we are coming up on the end of the show.
all right.
And share again with everybody how they can find you and stay in touch with all that you're doing,
Yeah.
because she's doing a lot.
Yeah, so Charlie Sprouts, Charlie at Charlie Sprouts is how you can get a hold of me. We do have a Facebook page as well and an Instagram. We have a project coming up this year called Plants for the People.
Love that.
So what this is they are live talk shows. It's kind of, think of a variety show, but infused with plants and music. So we have our sound producer who's been in the business for 30 years, Vinny Stiletto. He is going to be in charge of our neurotropic music, which is music that adjusts your mood. I am in charge of the plants, and I'll be hosting the show, most of the shows, unless I have no business hosting that particular show. And then I pull someone else in. And then we have random experts from around town that specialize in whatever that particular area we're speaking about. So for the first show, each show is based on a different set of medicinal plants. So by the end of the series, you're going to learn all the benefits of all the different types of plants that you have at your availability.
Yes. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you for being here with us. Everyone, we've got to turn things back over to the studio. We will see you next week. Remember, health is a state of mind. Wellness is a state of being. Be good, everyone. See you next week.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
solvent for at least the next 25 years, according to estimates by the Medicare Office of the Chief Actuary. I'm Eric Galanis.
Finally, our Alex Gonzalez lets us know Nevada is among the top 5 states with the highest per capita rates of both fraud and identity theft.
The FTC data shows people reported losing nearly $8.8 billion to fraud in 2022, an increase of more than 30% over the previous year. Regional Director for the Western Region FTC Office, Marisela Segura, says the top 5